What is up, guys? We got our first place deck profile here with a man you've seen before, Majid Khan, in the flesh, RBT winner. Did you win an RBT?
Top 8 RBT.
Top 8 RBT, and here's the Ajax Philly. So here's the Tingumet, and he decided to play a deck of his own brewing, and what is that called?
Spellcasters.
Spellcasters. Okay, so not very much Spellcasters in Edison format. A lot of people are on Frogs, a lot of people on Black Wings. Where would you place Spellcaster on the, I guess, the quality of decks today in today's format?
I think they're really good. Like, came up with the deck because we lost to a Dragon deck at a big event, me and my friend, and came to my mind that Secret Village would own that deck and Amaryllis decks. And then I was like, are Spellcaster monsters good in Edison? And I came across a lot that I thought had potential, like Kaiku, obviously.
Right.
Gravekeeper, Spy, and Breaker are always good. And that night I went online, I looked up all the legal Spellcaster monsters in Edison, and I came up with some stuff.
Okay, I'm excited to see this deck profile because it's never been seen before, and you actually win a lot with this deck outside of the side events too.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of
seeing. I kept it a secret, but now I don't play as much as I do, so I wanted to get it out there.
Yeah. All right, cool. Let's check it out.
I'll start with the spells because then the monsters make more sense. But you run 3 Secret Village, the Spellcaster.
Right.
This one, if you have a Spellcaster on your board, your opponent can't play spells, so that really owns decks like Amaryllis, Dragon Ruler, Heroes.
Okay. And you can also turn on Black Whirlwind, I guess.
Exactly.
If, they can't activate it.
Yeah. So usually fight it out in the Blackwing matchup because they don't run a lot of spells, but the rest of your monsters help a lot with the Blackwing matchup.
Okay, cool. Check it out.
1 Aluric, so you'll see I run a lot of Darks. 1 MST. And you run 1 E-Tele because this deck runs 3 Psychic Commanders because the best card in the deck is this guy, Arcanine Magician.
Okay, cool.
So you'll see that in the...
Yeah, I can't wait to see the combos.
So you run, for monsters, you run 3 Defenders.
Okay.
This guy's effect is when you summon him, you get to spell counter like Breaker. And if a monster on the field would be destroyed, or a Spellcaster monster would be destroyed, you can remove the counter instead. So he's really good with Secret Village because he protects your Spellcaster monsters. So if you can protect your Spellcaster monsters, they can't play spells.
I see.
And his stats are really good. 2,000 defense, decks like Black Wings have trouble getting over, and 1,600 attack and, do a good amount of damage.
Are you setting this guy?
You almost never set him because then you don't get the counter.
Yeah, so I figured that's what's the case. But you put him in defense afterwards.
You put him in defense afterwards. Usually summon him, do damage. If they have like a Sirocco, you just throw it in defense and stuff like that.
Very cool. So you would summon him, they try to kill him, but you just take out the counter.
Yeah, exactly.
And then next turn you put it in defense mode.
Next turn you put it in defense mode.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
And what's good about him and Arcanine is both of them say you can remove a spell counter from anywhere on the field, not just themselves. So let's say I have an Arcanite and I have this guy with a counter. I can remove the counter from this guy to use Arcanite's effect.
That's crazy. Okay.
Or I could use remove a counter from Arcanite to use his effect to protect monsters.
Okay, nice. I like that.
That's a really cool combo.
And then you can protect your back row with the Secret Village.
Exactly.
There you go. So it's almost like Auntie's Heavy Storm deck or something.
Yeah, that's why you don't run Starlight, you'll see. But 3 Kaiku, one of the best cards in Edison format. He owns Bayou, he owns Frogs, owns Heroes, so he's one of the big reasons I made the deck.
Yeah, controls. It's basically a stun deck, right?
It's basically a stun deck.
Okay.
Spellcaster stun. 2 Breakers. He's a good Spellcaster. I originally had 3, but I cut 2 when people started playing Yada and Jar Agreed. He wasn't as good, but he's still a really good monster. Does damage, can attack over a Gruffer.
Okay.
Can get you pluses.
Are you able to remove counters for him? Like give counters to
Yeah, you can remove counters from him to use Paladin or Arcanite.
Okay.
So his counters are multi-use also. 2 Crusaders. You don't use his effect that often. His effect is you can Gemini summon him to put a counter on cards that can get a spell counter.
Yeah.
So if you have a Paladin or an Arcanite or a Breaker out, you can use the effect.
Okay.
So you also run him because I run 2 Honest. These are lights, the Paladins are lights, and the Arcanites are lights.
Wow.
And it really owns Blackwing decks because it beats Kalu, and it really surprises people. Okay. I've won a lot of games where they just don't see an Honest coming, and they're like, how's he going to finish me off? And the Honest helps you do that.
I like that. Very cool.
You run the 3 Spy and the 1 Descendant. Spy's really good against Blackwings. It's really good at getting you a plus. If you're able to go first and resolve a Spy and get a Descendant, you can pop their Raikou or Hamster before it goes off.
Yeah.
And it's also really good because you run 3 Psychic Commander and 1 Gale.
Yeah,
Psychic,
the tuners.
The tuners, exactly.
So you have basically 5 tuners in this deck because of the emergency call.
Yeah, exactly.
Or what's it called? Emergency call.
You teleport.
Teleport, I'm dumb.
You're getting there.
I'm getting there.
But yeah, you summon the Psychic Commanders. You can think into an Arcanite Magician who's really good. And then his Psychic Commander is good by himself.
Yeah, he's a 1900 beat stick.
He's a 1900 beat stick, and he lowers defense. which is something I learned later on. So let's just say they're stalling with like a 2000 defense monster.
Yeah.
You can attack with Psychic Commander, put its defense down to 15, and then use like a Kaiku or a Breaker to finish it off.
Oh, cool.
That's something I learned later on, but in general, just 1900 beaters are good, right? They kill Shura, Bora, Greffer.
Yeah.
So these are really, a lot of tuners, if you draw them by themselves, they're bad, but Psychic Commander doesn't fall in that bucket.
Yeah, he's kind of like a walking 1900 beast stick. Okay.
Yeah. That's 20 monsters, and that's 6
20
spells.
monsters. Let's go into your traps.
And traps are pretty...
So you're a really trap heavy then.
Really trap heavy deck, because
Okay.
you don't want a lot of spells because it's Secret Village, and then
Yeah.
you just want to... The goal of this deck is to protect your Spellcaster monsters.
Got it, got it.
You run 3D Prisons, 2 Super Bottomless,
Very nice.
2 Compulse, 2 Trap Stun. I really love Trap Stun in this deck, because you can Trap Stun and then do Arcanite plays.
Right.
You can Trap Stun when they like try to Bottomless a Breaker and then break something else. It just really surprises people and allows you to get good value.
And deck devastation virus is everywhere in the people's main decks. So
It
you
is,
can just
yeah.
chain it.
But what's funny too is a lot of people don't know how to side against this deck.
Yeah.
Some people put in like deck dev, some people put in cross out, some people put in just random cards that are not good. And I win a lot of games just because people don't know how to play against my deck. They don't know what my cards do. Every person I play against reads what this card does.
Yeah,
really,
I did too as well. I was like, what's it do?
So it's a very surprising deck. 1 Mirror Force,
Okay.
Dushu, 1 Solemn. I main deck 1 Oppression. I have 1 in the side. You special summon with this deck too, so you don't want 2, but Oppression is still just like, kind of like in Black Wings, it's good to have 1. That was my logic.
And you also have trap stun. You can just turn it off.
Exactly, I've done that before too.
Okay, cool.
And then last card is a random card, a Sakuretsu.
Okay, not deep prisons.
I have 3 deep
Oh, I'm
prisons.
sorry, I didn't see that. Yeah,
Okay, good. But I had a Trenchel in the deck. I didn't like it because when you Trenchel, you lose your own monster, and then your Secret Village gets dead.
Yeah.
So I wanted another trap, and I was debating between this and Shrink, but for now I tried this, and I've been liking it. I'll probably switch it for another trap, but I don't know what it is yet.
Another compulsory, maybe. I don't know.
Compulsory, maybe. Yeah. But doesn't mean that kills their monster permanently.
Trap hole or something.
Exactly.
Okay, let's go into. Was that your main deck?
That was my main deck,
Okay,
yeah.
so 40 cards, right?
Yeah, 40
Okay,
cards.
let's go into.
Side deck, you got 2 Cyber Dragons. Pretty staple.
Question about the main deck. So, your way of dealing with Black Rose Dragon is Oppression and 2 compulsory, right?
Yeah, Oppression and 2 compulsory.
But you don't play Starlight Road because you felt that those cards didn't do anything?
Starlight Road you don't need because it's mostly for Heavy Storm, right? But Secret Village doesn't allow them to Heavy Storm. And it's like Icarus attack gets stopped by Trap Stun. And Black Rose isn't super common, I would say. Like Black Wings need a Gale to make it.
Yeah.
And even then, it's like you're
like quick draw maybe.
Quick draw maybe, but yeah.
They'll go like
But yeah, like Frogs don't make it. Vayu Turbo doesn't make it, so not a big problem.
Good to know. Good to know. Okay.
Side you got 2 Cybers,
Yep.
2 Jujutsu Masters.
Okay, so explain this choice over all the other ones.
A lot of GBs, which this card owns, and a lot of Black Wings, which this card owns. I feel like it used to be a good card back in the day, and people just forgot about it.
Yeah, I never see this in anybody's side deck anymore.
Yeah, I love it. It's slow, but if you're able to, if they attack into this with a Shura or a Bora, you usually win the game because when you got a +1 and they're behind a turn, that's big. And against GB, same boat. They just have a hard time getting over it.
Right.
It's a very game-winning card by itself if you're able to resolve it, and because people don't expect it, they don't play around it.
I see. And that's better than Snowman Eater.
Yeah, Snowman Eater like against GBs is bad because if they attack into it, it kills their monster, but they can just summon another one and attack it again.
Yeah.
And then
that makes a lot of sense.
Bouncing it to the top of their deck kills their draw phase, which is big.
Right.
Kind of like why Wing Blast and Rise are good.
That's so smart. Okay.
2 Dyna. I might do 3. I love this card. It helps me against dupe blocks.
Yeah. You set it and then you pop.
You set it and pop. It's a little slow, but you run 3 cross out. 3 cross out and do are really good against Raikou hamster decks. So you do. That's why you need that.
Okay.
And I run 3 because Raikou hamster decks is what this deck is weak against. So you need that.
Oh, I see. Because they flip it and then they chip it for Caius and stuff.
Exactly.
I see.
Yeah, Caius owns so many decks, but 2 Pulling the Rug for Frogs.
Same reason. Yeah.
2 Dust Tornadoes for Black Wings and other decks. Heavy Storm for Black Wings because you side out the Secret Village in that matchup. And then an Oppression just for second one for like Hero Frogs. A lot of
any deck
decks.
that special summons a lot.
Zombies, exactly.
Okay, and then let's go to your extra deck. The one that makes your Arcanites.
Oh yeah. Outside the Arcanites, everything's pretty straightforward, but you got the 3 Arcanites. There are games where
you actually max out on these. Okay.
Yeah, you usually bring out 1 per game, sometimes 2, but it's good to have 3 just in case.
Do you put them in attack mode if you have Honest and then...
Yeah, you put them in attack mode if you have Honest.
Yeah.
It gets a little tricky because sometimes
attack.
you use their counters. So if they have only 400 attack, putting in attack mode even with an Honest isn't the best, but it just depends. 1800 defense is pretty stable.
Got it, okay.
You run a lot of 7 stars just because you don't have many other things you can make. So you run Black Rose, Ancient Fairy, Psychic Life Transfer, Armor Master.
Right, because you play psychic monsters.
Exactly.
Like Psychic Commander, you can banish it to gain 1,200 life points, right?
Psychic Life Transfer says banish Psychic to gain 1,200. Yeah, so it's good. Like if you need life points for like an oppression or something.
Right.
It doesn't come up that often, but you have these.
You got it. Yeah. I forget. Do you play Chaos Sorcerer in your deck?
I don't. I test played it and it would brick a lot. I just didn't like. I like having cards that were consistent.
Got it.
I always try to make my decks as consistent as possible.
Yeah. No bricks.
Do Chimera attack. And these are kind of standard. Thought Ruler. These you almost never bring them out because you don't have the stars to.
Yeah.
Like this comes out if you bring in Jujutsu Master. This is Cyber plus Commander, but otherwise it rarely comes out.
Got it. Okay. Cool. And is that all of it? Then we go
all
to.
of it, yeah.
Okay. Sweet. Do you remember your matchups throughout the whole day?
Today I played in Zombie 2-0'd it,
Yeah.
played a Blackwing 2-0'd it, and played a Quick Draw deck 2-1.
Okay. So your side deck strategy against Blackwing is to take out the Secret Village.
Yeah.
And then add in, what was it again?
Add in the Dust Tornadoes, add in the Cybers, add in the Jujutsus.
Okay.
Probably take out an Allure, take out a one breaker maybe.
Okay.
A couple other cards.
And then the last match you played Quick Draw?
Yeah.
And so did they try to Black Rose you and you just flip Oppression and you won?
It was the opposite. I Black Rose them. And when they had Dandy tokens out, and I won that, but I had game 2 and 3, I think I just had Oppression and like Nobleman or Cross out won me game 3.
Okay. If by chance, if a lot of things are marked for destruction by Torrential Black Rose, can you remove one spell counter to protect all your monsters?
You can remove a spell counter to protect one.
Only one?
Only
okay.
one. Yeah,
And
but unless you have 2, obviously, but then you can protect 2. But,
oh, I
yeah.
see. Okay, any more tips you want to give for any aspiring spellcaster players out there who want to like play your list?
I think it's a really good list. It really, if your local has a lot of Bayou Turbo, or if it has a lot of Hero Frogs, or Dragon Rulers or Amaryllis, I would recommend it. Frog matchups are kind of 50-50, especially Dream Frogs owns this deck. It's hard to answer a Duke block, but if you I would side deck Needle Feeling if you have a lot of what's it called here, Dream Frogs.
And Bayou Turbo, are you doing okay?
Yeah, it's really good against Bayou Turbo.
Okay, because they can't. What are you locking out? Are you?
The Kaiku can't. Kaiku makes it so they can't Bayou.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, Kaiku is the main way you stun the opponents in most matchups.
Okay, cool deck by the way. I really love it. And definitely hope you're able to win a big event with this deck.
Yeah.
And see.
Shout out to my wife. I got married 6 months ago, or 3 months ago.
Yeah.
So I haven't been able to come to events for the past 5-6 months, but she let me come today, and I told her I'd stay a while. So shout out to her. I love her.
Yeah. Once everything's stabilized, you'll be coming back to events.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Majikhan, really great list, and I hope to see you more in the future.
All right, thanks, man.
All right,
Love your
peace out.
channel.